the element? So the patient will make the initial contact. That contact has to be through a phone, or they can email you as well. So just to consider what your receptionists are going to say when the patient calls and say, do you do implants? Yeah. Okay, so you need to train your receptionist what should they say after that question. Okay, so that you need to consider that in this initial contact. What should they say? You need to tell them. Okay. Then what they do is they book the patient for initial consultation. That consultation is usually free, but free for your own patients, not for the patients who shop around. Okay, so for example, if the patient is not registered at your practice, they want to come in and say, oh, do you do implants? Can I book a consultation appointment? Yes, it's going to be £150. To discourage patients from shopping around, from discourage patients from just coming to you wasting your time for the next 25 minutes. If it's your patient, has been seeing you for 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, yeah, that's fine. Initial consultation is free. What happens in initial consultation, we're going to talk about it. Then in that consultation, you're going to decide whether you're going to do a CBCT, an X-ray, study cast, whatever you want to do. Then a treatment planning consultation after your CBCT. Okay? Consent letter goes to the patient. So after your consultation appointment, when you are very sure what you're going to do, you're going to send the patient a consent letter. We're going to send you our sample consent letter as well. So you can see, there is no consent letter in England which is ideal. Okay? There is no ideal consent letter in England at the moment. You need to see 3 or 4 or 5 consent letters and then make up your own. Take one thing over from there, take one thing from there, one thing from there, one from there, and then make up your own. And it's a document which is continuously evolving. Okay, so you need to keep on evolving that. You send the patient the consent letter and the finance is going to be arranged. How the patient is going to fund it. Does your practice offer finances? Does it offer a finance mechanism? Does it offer payment installments? Whatever. But here, the finance has to be sorted. This is how it's going to cost. This is how, and how would you like to pay? Is it upfront? Is it multiple payments? How the multiple payments are going to be? Okay. That's where your nurse is going to place order then and book placement appointment. Get Cezine to visit your practice and get Cezine to train your nurses for this. Okay, so if you tell your nurse, I need bone level 4.3 into 10, they should know what do they mean. At least they should know what is a bone level, what is 4.3. 4.3 is not the length, 4.3 is the width. At least they should know that. 10 millimeter is the length, not the width. At least they should know that. That's it. And who to call, who to email, that's it. We need the order delivered by that so-and-so, the patient is booked so-and-so, and that's it. Always in these sort of scenarios, always make sure you've got backup implants. For example, if the sinus is 8 millimeter, you have planned an 8 millimeter long implant, and at that time you didn't get the primary stability, you want to engage that cortical floor of the sinus, then you can go for 10 millimeter implant. So when I have started, when I used to do was order 4.3 and 4.10 as well. And that if 4.8 is used, 4.3 into 8 is used, then 4.3 into 10 is my backup for the next one. Okay, so make sure you've got 4 or 5, the most common used sizes in stock. Don't open it, just make sure when you're drilling it, you will know. Okay, so make sure you've got some backup. That's the implant placement stage. Implant uncover. Impressions, that's what we did today. Okay. And the final restoration. Okay? Now initial contact, what you're going to do, it can be telephone call, reception, patient can come to the reception and say, oh, I've heard you place implants. That's it. Now your reception should be trained how to deal with that. Internal referral as well, make sure you, your colleagues should know you place implants. So they internally refer. Most of the cases are internal referrals. Okay, they should refer you the cases. Or external referral. Look around, meet with people all around, and then see if you can get an external referral. This is dying at the moment. Nobody's sending patients out. Nobody. Really. Because one reason is litigation. All you have to do is just say to your patient, you're looking into mouth and say, oh, who did this? And that's it. that's the one you have to tell them. That's it. So you got a crown on the upper right side? Oh, who did it? That's it. Then they're going to think by themselves. Yeah. So this is dying. So that's why people like me and Ubad go to different practices and place implants. People don't send patients to us. No. That's dying. So we have to have our case ready everywhere we go. Okay? So I would suggest do not waste energy on that. Don't. 20 minutes chat with the dentist. Now, if your nurse is well trained, your nurse therapist can do that as well. So if you have got a treatment coordinator, then that can do that as well. Now, if the dentist is doing it, then you roughly, very quickly do this. If your nurse coordinator is doing it, they're just going to tell patients, this is an implant, that's how it's look like, that's the superstructure, that's the leaflet, off you go, and that's it. All of you get your patient information leaflets from Cezine. Every patient who asks about implant should be hand over the patient information leaflet and document in the notes. Patient information leaflet, there have been cases with GDC where they have even asked which type of leaflet you have provided, what was the information on that leaflet. So patient information leaflet, implant is given to the patient. Okay? With nurse, it's going to be free of charge. With dentist, if you want to charge £150. Okay? Implant lift, infant leaflets. So that's, now you order CT scan for the patient. In this appointment, after CT scan, you do all of this. And that is going to be covered in your £150. So in that CT scan appointment where the patient has got the CT scan, you're going to take photos, you're going to take models, you're going to, if there are multiple restorations, then better take physical records and treatment planning appointment. Make sure when you have seen the patient for treatment planning, all these things should be there. Your CT scan, articulatory study cost, what was your plan for the final restoration, payment plan, and advise the patient to wait for the consent letter. One more thing with the consent letter, how are you going to send the consent letter? you use the NHS.in for your private patients?
Exactly. No, but at the same time, I think,
Can you know?
No, no problem. One more question. Does your patient has got an NHS.in network?
yeah, because whenever we try to email patients for NHS.net account, it hasn't delivered for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Does your patient has an NHS.net
No,
email?
they don't.
So then, how does it comply with GDPR?
You need to take patient's consent for that again. It's a bit of a nuisance for us.
So you,
Consent to email them from your own personal address.
so you said, I don't really know if patient consented, but for us to send an email from an NHS.net email to their personal email, which is not encrypted.
Oh my God. Send a letter.
There you are. Send a letter.
The second start.
Yeah.
Last start.
Yeah. And otherwise, give it to the patient when they are there. Okay? So make sure you understand that. Okay?
It's possible to come as an appointment, 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
To give
Yeah.
run the letters and post and
Yeah.
Or they don't even have to see you for an appointment, they can just call
No,
up,
yes.
just collect it from you.
Yeah. And just collect it from the section. Everybody safe so far? Only then order from Cezine either if the patient has signed the consent form or have given you the consultation fee of £150 or £200. When you are sure they can go ahead. Okay, otherwise patients you'll never see those patients. Okay? Make sure you have got a product catalog from Cezine. You can download it from your from Implantis website. Please download it on your desktop. Download the product catalog. Okay, this is a kind of template. I've sent you quite a lot of templates today. So have a look on those templates and protocols. Make your own. You can take things from there, okay?
You send in Word format.
I have sent you, yes, Word format, yeah. I'll send you. I know, not a Word format. But you can copy and paste it. It's in the PowerPoint presentation. So you can copy it and paste it in your words. Patients start antibiotics 2 days before.
So it's
What
not
we
1
need to
hour
download.
before 3 grams of amoxicillin. That's.
You tell me, is it
I-
good or not?
Well, that's what I've been doing. So loading dose 3 grams,
Okay.
1
Okay.
hour prior
Okay.
to
What else?
surgery,
What
and
else?
then 5-day antibiotic course post implant placement.
What else?
Oxygen mouthwash.
Oxygen mouthwash, and recently I was looking at steroids, dextromethasone.
So he's saying 3 grams of amoxicillin 1 hour before. Okay? You know the amoxicillin sachets are not available. They are available. What if the patient is allergic to penicillin? No, you will kill the patient giving 3 grams of amoxicillin.
3 grams.
That's what he's saying.
For amoxicillin.
Do the patient have to be allergic to penicillin before, or they can just develop the allergy at once?
No, normally you ask if they ever had amoxicillin before, and most of them would.
But they would have taken the amoxicillin before and not allergic. So it's better to give them small dose so that you shouldn't kill them, rather than give them a 3 gram amoxicillin which will definitely kill them if they are allergic to penicillin.
Still have 2 more sachets left.
So what we do is, what we do is 500 milligrams 2 days before. That's it.
And nothing post-op.
Is it like for all,
Continuing for another
5
3
day
days.
course.
So 5 day
Yeah,
course
that's
starting
3
2 days
days.
before.
for all the implant placements?
Implant placements always.
And if somebody is allergic to amoxicillin, then metronidazole.
Metronidazole, azithromycin, question, cephalaxin.
Anything. Fine.
Sorry to ask this, maybe silly, but we just discussed implant is nothing but an extraction. So
Yeah.
for not every extraction, we are prescribed antibiotics. So
This much amount of papers who says that antibiotics should not be given.
yeah.
This much amount of papers says antibiotics should be given. Who to believe? I don't know.
I think giving
Better-
disease that-
better stay safe.
Yeah.
Better stay safe. Because,
It's extra protection.
yeah, and better stay safe, you know. And furthermore, a patient is going to come back to you. If they go to a dentist like me, say, well, you given antibiotics before implant? No.
Yeah, okay. I think probably that's not justifiable.
That's what I'm saying. No, just it is justifiable. There are many research
What
papers.
patients they say use all this fast with antibiotics. I had patients they say, do you give antibiotics? Why do you give antibiotics?
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Because we want to reduce the chances of infection after
Is
implantation.
it necessary? No, it's absolutely.
Yeah, there are research papers. Yeah. There are quite a lot of research papers. If you want me to show you, I'll send you the research papers.
Because there are some patients who argue that there is no need of prophylactic
Yeah,
antibiotics
yeah, yeah.
anymore.
I think if I don't give them, the patient will argue with me.
Yes,
Because,
I
you know,
think
you know,
because
like,
everybody has
All
a
the
special
patients, but
part.
I have patients that
People
they,
think that
I do have patients that they
Yeah,
argue,
even
why?
I have
Yes,
patients
yeah.
who ask me why am I prescribed.
Yeah.
No, but that's for routine extractions and other stuff. You don't give antibiotics. No.
Then
But this is some extra stuff.
2 days
Okay.
prior.
2 days of antibiotics, start 2 days before, and they're going to continue 3 days after.
Painkiller and dextromethorphan.
I don't use any inflammatory anticotic, any steroid. Your surgical skills should be good enough that you should not need any steroids. Simple as that. If your surgical skills are not good enough, improve your skills.
what about this PRP treatment?
PRP. You can, you're talking about the,
Plasma-rich protein.
that's only for soft tissue closure.
Soft tissue.
If you've got soft tissue defects, if you cannot reduce the soft tissue, you're going to close the soft tissue, then you can use those PRP plasma plugs and all of that.
No, not the plug. You know, you take out the protein. You know.
Plasma-rich protein. So you take some blood samples.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, lad. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The centrifuge,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So if it's allergic to moss, then I'm giving metro or electro.
Yeah, metro retro. Make sure you've got all the kit ready for your implant. The last thing you want is you cannot find an irrigation tube when the patient is taking 2 days of antibiotics.
Do you need a backup?
There has been a case with one of my very good friends. He opened up, raised the flap, and asked the nurse, "Can you pass me 3.8 into 12?" And she said, "What?" So he had to close it. Patient was okay.
Do you need a backup kit as well? What if you drop a few?
Ideally, yes. Ideally, yes. To be very honest, you're charging quite a lot from your patients. 2.5 grand is quite a lot of money. So ideally, yes. That's why I said, getting 5 or 10 implants in your drawer does not make you poor. Does not make you poor. But you should have a backup plan. Okay? For example, if you placed one implant and that dropped on the floor. That's it. Okay? So make sure you've got all the equipment and material and kit ready for implant. Double check it beforehand. 30 minutes should be surgery prep time. You should prepare the surgery, how it's going to be done. Drape it. I do courses in London King's College for nurses. If your nurses are not trained, send them onto one of my courses at London. Okay? Just go, if you type Londec, LONDEC, and my name, you will see those courses. Okay? So send them to that course, and we'll teach them how to drape it, how to prepare the surgery, everything. This is how it's going to be done. Drape, everything is ready, irrigation, tubes, everything in order. make sure your motor is working, foot control, everything double check. Implant kit. Hand washing. You know how to surgically scrub? Yeah, so you should know how to surgically scrub, and then you scrub with your 27 and 28. We're going to tell you how to scrub in here. Okay? $60 minutes. One length or 30 minutes for surgery prep, 60 minutes for implant placement time. So 90 minutes for one implant.
Okay.
And then 20 minutes for each implant further. So you've got 2 implants and 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay? You should have, I like this term. I was once. So make sure you've got 3 people there. Okay? One is the surgeon, one is the nurse who's scrubbed, and one is the dirty nurse who's handling everything which is non-sterile. Okay? And taking pictures as well. So this is, you're going to see him on 28th, Sumer. He's a very good friend of mine. Yeah, so scrub nurse, Sumer, and dirty nurse. Okay? In CN and flap, we'll talk about it, we'll discuss it. Osteotomy, you're going to prepare, you're going to do the CN, you're going to do the osteotomy, and then you're going to place the implant. Okay? The placement can be done by a torque wrench or handpiece, whatever is easier for you. But implant Swiss goes very well with the motor. It goes very well with the motor. I used to use torque wrench, hand wrench, but with this one I just use motors. It's amazing. You check primary fixation. You should know how to use this kit. You're going to be shown the kit today, so we're going to discuss everything about the kit. You're going to be shown what are the components of the kits, what are the components of implants. We're going to talk about it later this afternoon. Okay? So this document will tell you how much primary stable it's going to be. The implant is. Cover screw is going to go on top of after you've placed the implant. So implant goes in, and then the cover screw goes in. Okay? Implant, and then the cover screw. Okay? So bone graft is done. Make sure you've got bone graft there before the surgery. That has been looked into. Then close the flap and suture. We're going to talk about different type of sutures as well. And make sure you select the type you want. Okay? What are the? Have you ever seen the suture pack? Yeah?
Suture back.
Yeah.
The whole back.
No. Have you read on top of the pack what's written?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
3 or reverse cutting,
Reverse cutting, half circle, one circle, right.
So why do we use, what's reverse cutting and cutting? What's the difference?
reverse cutting one, when you are like the cutting surface is right at the top, which you shouldn't use, because otherwise you'll be
You tear the
scared the flap. So we normally use reverse cutting to prevent